Okay, so this time I'm checking through for SPaG errors. So I've known Charlie for as long as he can remember. Really? I've known him for even longer than that. This is fine. I was assigned to him shortly after he was born. As all of us imaginaries are, every child needs a guide. Oh, okay, so actually here we've got a little bit of a problem. So as all of us imaginaries are, that needs to be a full stop, and that needs to be a capital letter. Okay, every child needs a guide, a companion to help them through life. It's my job to do this, except Charlie is my first. Okay, so that bit there was really the main bit to look at in the first bit. So we had sort of commas joining sort of run on, we had run on a sentence that really needed to be two separate sentences. It's a great honour to be a child's imaginary, especially beyond their 5th or 6th year. Fine. One imaginary I know stayed with the child until they were 11. They always brag that they still go back and visit them from time to time. Okay, we've got another comma splice here. And actually, I'm not going to keep changing them, because if I change them, I've got to change them all back again, because obviously you are going to be looking at this document. So just to aware, another comma splice there. So far we've had a sentence that was a run-on sentence, no punctuation in between those two clauses, and we had a comma splice here. Okay, but I'm not sure I believe that. Now, obviously that is an incomplete sentence, it's a fragment, but it does work as part of the creative writing, so that's okay. Charlie and I live with his grandma, as his parents aren't around anymore. Fine. Grandma Janet is surprisingly very supportive of me. Fine. Grown-ups aren't able to see imaginaries as a rule. Fine. However, Grandma Janet even sets me a place at the dinner table if Charlie tells her I'm hungry, and always tucks me in and says goodnight alongside Charlie every single night. Now, that's really long, complicated sentence, but it is actually fine. You could have actually this bit here, instead of full stop, you could have used a semicolon and then used however. But actually it is okay. Grandma Janet, Charlie and I live in a small bungalow in a quiet neighbourhood full of friendly old people. Okay, I would have comma between friendly and old to separate the adjectives, who didn't mind us running around playing cops and robbers. Fine. At times, Charlie wished he was a cowboy in the Wild West. Wild West actually is a proper noun. It's like the name that's been given to that time in America. So that would need two capital letters. We played gunfights and more stylish cowboy beats, fine. On other occasions, comma, he would pretend to be a famous footballer, scoring goals for his favourite team, England. Okay, you can't use a semicolon there. If you remember, it needs to be a main clause both sides of a semicolon. So actually, because England is answering or adding explanation to what he's already said, that should be a colon or a dash. I was never so good at football. Charlie's imagination. Oh, we've got a random capital letter here. Charlie's imagination. It's a truly amazing thing. He's able to create environments and scenarios in his head using nothing but his own brain. Okay, we've got two main clauses joined with a comma here. So we would need to put a semicolon or a colon or a dash or a full stop, something that can separate main clauses. Charlie has no siblings and no friends except me. Nice use of brackets. He's a really isolated young boy. Okay, we've got start of a new sentence here. He's a really isolated young boy. So actually he could have used a semicolon there or a complete new sentence. His imagination was really all he had. Okay, my favourite memory of Charlie is when we played Indiana Jones in Grandma's back garden. Charlie was Indiana Jones and I was a villain. We used everything from the path to the patio and the wedge to the fence to create obstacles to be overcome. Okay, that's fine. I actually would have put another comma after fence, not because it's inaccurate, but because it would help to add to the meaning. And then the sentence would read like this then. We used everything from the path to the patio and the wedge to the fence to create obstacles to be overcome. So that separation would be easier to spot. He is my bestest friend. I'm hoping you picked that up. There is no such word as bestest. He is my best friend. I will cherish your friendship in my heart forever and ever. Okay. As Charlie grew older, he grew more and more reliant on me as I was on him. That's fine. This worried me as I was afraid Charlie would not be independent or resilient in the future. But the flickering would soon begin. Now, again, we've got a fragment sentence here, but it's kind of in the same style that they used earlier when they put, but I'm not sure I believe that. So I would leave that. I think that's for dramatic effect, and I think I understand that marking the work. A child gives us life, When they stop talking to us, stop acknowledging us, we cease to exist. Okay, so here that needs to be a definite stop, so it needs to be a full stop. That's not to say we die per se, we just become beings of the air until another child is in need of our particular skill set. That's fine. It's also like being unemployed. As humans would understand it, it's incredibly mundane. That's fine. Good. At age 5, Charlie has primary school very soon. Since school is fast approaching, I don't know how I'm going to break this to him. Grandma Janet rushes into Charlie's bedroom to drag him out of bed. Okay, right, this is really interesting. We have a shift of tense here. We've had everything being told in past tense, and then suddenly we move to present tense. Grandma Janet rushes into Charlie's bedroom. Now, that in itself isn't a problem because it's as if the narrator has been telling everything in the past tense up to this moment. They've got to this moment in time and now they're telling it as it happens. However, it's a shift in tense, a shift in time. So it would need to start a new paragraph if you're going to do that. And then I would expect that everything from this point onwards would be in present tense. Okay, so if that's the decision the writer's making to change from past tense to it's all happening now, that's fine, but everything would now need to be in present tense. And this writer you'll see in a minute actually kind of is a little bit confused and does some in present and some in past. So whatever tense you're doing, you make a decision and you stick to it at that point. We've also got a missing apostrophe as well. Okay, so Charlie's bedroom, it's the bedroom belonging to Charlie. I fear the children at school perhaps don't understand that Grandma Janet rushes back. Yeah. The mug was filled to the brim. Grandma must have forgotten spectacles. Yeah. After much encouragement, Charlie puts on his uniform and we all get into the car. I start. So actually, you see we've got the tense. Tense is not quite working here. I start flickering more rapidly. I remain right beside him. We do everything together. Well, I'm not going to go any further, but I think that hopefully will let you see some of the mistakes that have happened so far. And obviously, hopefully you've gone on and had a look at the rest of it as well.